Hello, welcome to United Kopitiam. Today we're going to preview the game Wolves versus Manchester United. Yes, I did make a mistake just now. The first recording is Watford. But yeah, it's Wolves versus Manchester United on Monday morning. And in Malaysian time, it's Tuesday, 3 o'clock in the morning. And I cannot tell you how much I hate Monday games. But we, as Manchester United fans, have to get used to Monday games. Tuesday morning games, 3 o'clock games because we are in Europa League. So let's talk a bit about United Kopitiam. If you want to join our discussion, do share, like, and subscribe to our little growing channel. What is Kopitiam? Kopitiam is a cafe, it's a coffee shop where a lot of football fans actually go there and have a chat about football, and also some of the cafes we do have together and watch footballs together. It's in the coffee shop. So that's where the name comes from. United Kopitiam, a place for everyone, for fans, for everyone to actually talk about football. And in this case, it's of course about Manchester United. So anyway, for Manchester United, Wolves versus Manchester United. So the first point, there are 5 talking points. So the first point that we want to talk about is, of course, Wolves has beaten Manchester United 2 times last season. One in FA Cup, and then he kicked it out of the FA Cup, and the second time in the league, and we have lost 2-0 or 2-1 to Wolves. So what happened is we won revenge. I think the first we won revenge for the 2 times that we lost to Wolves because we do not lost to smaller team, and we are a top 6 club, and I want to be a top 4 club this season. So we're going to treat Manchester United as a big club, going against Wolves, who has just been promoted the season before this. But Wolves does have a very, very good record against top teams. Especially this revenge, if we do make it, how much does it mean to a Manchester United fan such as yourself? How much does it mean?
It means everything because last season, last season, Wolves actually one of the clubs that has shown progress, and there has been talk of Wolves being having similar campaign like akin to Leicester City, So the way that they beat Man United last season, it was rather something that's what I call that not supposed to. It was something rather that's not supposed to happen. We're on the ascendancy and suddenly Wolves stop us in our track. We were beaten at home. So Wolves at home last season, they were formidable. So this season,
very good.
They were very good at home. So coming off this season, they were beaten 3-0 by Brighton away. But they came back in the Europa League qualifying. They beaten the team. I'm not sure the name of the team is FC Priyong something like that.
Yeah, I saw the name. I don't want to pronounce it.
So 4-0. So both of the teams coming off a good match. They won 4-0, especially for Man United. We need to be cautious, but at the same time, don't let the confidence run out. Bring the confidence from our first win at Old Trafford to Wolves this Monday. So it means, for me, it means everything. Revenge is sweet, and it is even sweeter if you can beat Wolves at home.
Yeah,
at the start of the season.
Losing 2 times. Actually, last season is really the worst season. One of the biggest losers that we have. I mean, against Everton. When we are going to go against Everton, I'm going to talk about revenge again because 4-0 is very hard to stomach. And when it comes to Wolves, revenge is sweet, like you say. Two games kicking us out of FA Cup, and that's because that's the only thing we can win last season, and we are out of them very, very quickly because of Wolves. And to lose. You see, if we have gotten our games against Wolves and Everton, of course, against Cardiff and Huddersfield, 2 teams that we cannot have revenge anymore. But if we gotten these draws or even win, we would have been in Champions League. So because all the other team like Tottenham, they're just having a free fall. Arsenal, Chelsea not doing very well. So at the end of the day, they actually cost us the top four position. But I'm not blaming them. It's more of our own problem, our own fitness that never it was never good enough to finish top four. So Wolf actually came back and they were very, very good at counter attacking. So definitely this is will be a very big game, and I would say this a harder game than Chelsea, just because of what happened last season. That Wolves were really really good at home, and
Yeah.
we need to win this to
Mhm.
exact our revenge because we are a top club. We cannot be looking at a non-top four team, a non-top 16, um, and saying that it's okay
Yeah.
to lose to them, or even saying that it's okay to draw with them. It's not okay at all. So yeah, we are gonna we're gonna take this revenge up onto the table. And
Yeah.
you see, let's move on to the second point, which after the Chelsea game, there's an immense reaction, elations happening around the club. There's a lot of positive news coming out, and with the media trying to kick a lot of to start up a lot of negative news, the Manchester United Football Club on Facebook, on Instagram have posted a lot of happy training session and
Yep.
Pogba rolling around on the ground. I mean, you can see Sanchez smiling, laughing with everyone. Is this an agenda by Manchester United, or is this really that we really see something that's happening within Manchester United, and how has it affected our performance, as we can see from Chelsea, and our performance that will be coming. What do you think about atmosphere change in the dressing room itself?
Okay. First, when we talk about Man United, I think the club itself holds the record of being what we call that, having the most fans on Facebook. The most liked sporting club in the world on
Mm,
Facebook and also on Instagram. And then we pride ourselves on having the numbers. So being in control of our own we call that our own agenda. It is something that uh, what we call that must be done. It is a top priority in order for the other media to not to infuse any negativity about our especially for the players. So for me, I can see the positive approach. Okay, the positive approach. It is an agenda to get the players uh, to be on a positive note all the time. That's number one. And then number two, you can see. I think there's been talk about Ole trying to follow Sir Alex Ferguson's steps of buying British players. So that means whenever you have British players, they have a sense of we call it pride of playing one of the big clubs in in the Premiership and being a British club. So the atmosphere is very much um, influence, right? Coming from the influence of these British players, they bring a lot of energy. They bring a lot of we call that enthusiasm of playing for one of the big clubs in the Premiership and also in the UK. So for me, I see I see it is something good. Definitely, there's traction to it. Definitely, there's traction to it. It's not something that's being made out of. Definitely it has traction, and I understand and I believe that it is going to be we'll call that it's going to be a genuine thing throughout the season if uh, Ole continue to have we'll call that to have the backing of his players. So that's
yeah,
what I think.
I see. You see the difference between Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and also Jose Mourinho is how they handle the media.
Okay.
It's how they handle the press conference.
Yep.
In the press conference,
Mm.
Ole always talk about players, and he never says that Manchester United he never throw players under the bus, and even if he throw player under
Yes.
the bus, he does not specify any one player. When asked about Sanchez, when asked about Pogba, he always say he will be always be a part of our team. And even Andres Pereira,
Yes.
any
Yes.
players even too young, he has not brought down any players in front of the media, and that is difference, a very big difference. You know, a lot of people who say that, oh, he should be talking a lot more, he should bring down the board, he should be talking a lot more about the players. And I think every time he faces the media, everybody say he's a very good at talking, and that's what you need to do in front of the media, and that's bring
Yep.
up the very good atmosphere around the dressing room, because he doesn't throw any players under the bus in front of the whole world. Maybe he does it privately, maybe he just say to players, you have to buck up to each players, but he does it in the training, he never brings anyone's face down, he never kick anyone
Yes.
while they're lying down,
Yeah.
and that is very important as a
Management.
man management. So I can tell you, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in man management, um it's top notch, and it's what is needed to actually bring the club around. Because anytime that chastised player, the player, either the player is gone or the dressing room is gone, and that is what happening at Real Madrid at the moment.
Mm.
Zidane is probably
Yeah.
slowly losing the player support, the way he handled Gareth Bale saga,
Yeah.
and I think the way he handled Paul Pogba saga and the Sanchez saga, it's admirable, and is something that a lot of top managers, not only in football but also in management, should learn from, because you just do not throw players under the bus. And I think that's why I think all the videos, the videos are genuine. It's very difficult to get Paul Pogba and Sanchez to laugh, to
Yes.
smile, and to roll around on the field. And oh, it's just because I want to take a video, because these players are not actors. They are professional players, but they are
Yes.
never ever going to be very good actors. And that's why I say it's genuine. The atmosphere is good, but everything can change very quickly if we do not perform against Wolves. That's why I say these players will be in high spirit, will be in high energy and fitness to face Wolves, and we are looking at a win. We are looking at a win very quickly.
Yes.
I'm already doing
Okay.
a match prediction. So let's go to the third point, and I have to bring up my notes again, which I
The
have
counter.
lost. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. So last season, Wolf plays the way a lot of smaller team plays. They sit back, they have two banks of four, and they counter very quickly. And with Yota and Raul Jimenez in the team,
Mm.
they actually
Yep.
counter attack very well. And their goals are probably a bit fortuitous, and that's why I say Wolf. When it comes to Wolf, it's about breaking down their defense. It's about, they are going to defend very well. They're going to defend very compactly, and
Very organized. Yeah.
yes, very organized. So, what is a suitable tactic that Ole Gunnar should employ? Like, is it a 4-3-3? Is it a 4-2-3-1? Is it a 3-5-2? Like, what kind of attacking? What kind of tactic that we should put into this game so that we can break down the solid defense that Wolf employ, and to nullify the counter attacking.
Okay. I think we can take some what we call it. We can take some notes by watching the way Brighton break down Wolves defense in the first game when they won 3-0 at home, okay, against Wolves. You can see the way how Wolves set themselves up. They have three at the back, and then they pack the midfields. They pack the midfields up. They have five, and then they have two forwards, being in the form of Diogo Jota and also Raul Jimenez.
I think I have to
Their key player is
correct
actually,
you first. Wolf
is it?
actually drew 0-0 with Leicester in the first game of the season. It
Oh,
wasn't.
oh yeah, it was
Yeah, yeah,
Watford, right?
yeah. Again, Watford
Oh,
Wolf.
sorry. we got it. Yeah, yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
all right. But the thing is, if you look at the
Mm.
game, the way that Wolf pack the midfield. Okay, they have five. That they have Yao Moutinho, they have Ruben Neves, um, and then
And the guy I cannot
at the wings,
pronounce.
yeah, then Donker on
Yeah.
the right. Yeah, then Donker on the right side, and then they
Yeah,
have
I'm not gonna try
Doherty.
that.
Yeah, they have Doherty, Shannon Doherty. So the way Wolf pack their midfield, they have five there. So whenever they sit very deep, they absorb that's why I say they're very organized, they're very disciplined. In order for this team to succeed in terms of absorbing whatever attacks that come, they must be disciplined, and they must be organized. So by having Ruben Neves, some of the teams, like we said, we did mention Ruben Neves as one of the target that we can have. So having such a quality, but in the form of Yao Martino and also Ruben Neves, actually it brings out the best in whatever team that employs such a tactic. So for me, Ole needs to have we call that consistency in terms of believing in in the setup that he's having now. So I don't see any major changes. I don't see any major changes in terms of the setup. He can continue playing the same 4-3-3, the same 4-3-3. But knowing knowing that some players need to play at the top to break down defense and so on. So they'll come down to the call of whether we want to retain or to what you call that to rotate the players. So it all boils down
which
to
is
that.
our fourth
It
point.
is yeah. It is only the second game of the season. So for me, consistency in terms of getting the players to really know their game full circle. That's how Sir Alex did during his days. He is a firm believer of having like uh, the we call that of having the first and only setup, and the dynamic of the game will change according to the players. So that's why I believe Ole needs to continue to do whatever setup that he's having. The dynamic changes as the game progress with the players that come in and or maybe come out. That's it. Yeah.
Okay, so we've got to our third and fourth point, which is what tactic and also what player should we retain and should we rotate our player?
Yeah.
You think that we should retain our players from our first game,
Yes.
or including Pereira and Lingard in the team?
Okay. Oh yeah. Minus because I did read some call that some of the reviews and also some of the critics. The call is for Lingard to be replaced by Daniel James. So let Daniel James start in ahead of JC Lingard. That's the only player that changed. The rest I will still retain them. So I do agree with that.
Matic Mata.
Matic and Mata, nope, of course. But I,
Then
I would
far
like to
far
see
away.
Fred because yeah, because I would like to see Fred because the other day Fred wasn't in the
Wasn't
bench.
it
You know?
wasn't even on the bench? Yes,
Yeah. So I would
and
like to
who
see Fred being there
in replacement of?
in replacement of mathematic because
Yeah, yeah. Because
because
Fred is your
we need
CDM.
to have only mobile player, mobile player, and then the we call it the final pass must come not just from Pogba but from the any other midfield players.
Mm. Yeah, you see, to me, in the way to break
Players
down
that
a
we have.
very,
Yeah.
yeah, the way to break down a very, very good solid defense is, of course, with the easiest way is, of course, with process, but we don't have a very tall players, very tall attacking players, to actually end up on the end of the crosses. So it's way easier if you have a good crosser into the box, and someone tall to actually head it home, and that's how Jose Mourinho likes to play. But with our team, we like to play very quickly on the ground, and it is very difficult to actually get through 8 times to 16 or 8 pairs of legs on the ground. That's why going through the air, going high above everyone's head, it's actually number one choice for Jose Mourinho. But I think Ole should stick to whatever tactic that he has been employing, because again, like you say, he has to get the players to know the tactics in and out. If Liverpool can do it, then Manchester United can do it. And if Alex Ferguson has done it before,
Yes.
um, then Manchester United should be following a tradition of fluid attacking football on the ground. But when it comes to our fourth point, whether we should retain or rotate players, I think the first 11 should from Chelsea should be starting this game against Wolves, simply because Lingard, just difference is Lingard should move in the middle, because Lingard is full of energy and he'll be pressing very well. And give Pogba that free role, give Pogba that free roles to either stay back and dictate game from the deep, or to rush up front and actually start playing on the floor. And he can even do lob cheap passes. But I don't think cheap passes and lobs are very effective in this game, because how are you going to lob it when there's already a defender behind him defending the ball? So then play on the ground with Pogba, who can play on the ground. The difference between Pogba, if why we need Pogba is because of his creativity, and he doesn't play the simple passes. He played the risky passes, and you need the risky passes to actually provide a bit of magic. Yeah. Another thing is you need a good shot from outside of the box, because if they are going to pack the box, then you can be shooting from outside the box. And Pogba has a very good shot from long range. Rashford can have very good shot from long range, but just both of them, what they need to do is keep it on target, because if you don't keep it on target, nothing's going to happen. If you keep it on target, if we can get the keeper to actually punch the ball away, and then it's anyone's ball. It's anyone's ball there, and then we can force a mistake out of him. But we have to bombard their goal. We cannot be just trying to break down, trying to slowly chip the defense away, because the defense is very solid. We have to bombard their goal from outside of the box, and we have to keep shooting. We have to mix the games around, basically. And that's why I will retain Andres Pereira, because nobody's in our team have very good crosses except for Pereira. And as you can see, he assisted with one cross in the first game. And if he practices his crosses, then probably we are in for much better play on the flank. Is he a very good winger? I don't think so. He's not very quick, but probably he's going to be the Beckham instead of Gates.
Yeah. He doesn't have the pace. He likes, whenever he plays in the middle, he can continue continue pressing throughout the match. So it doesn't take a lot from him to press in such a constricted area, instead of putting him on the flank and then trying to get, because he doesn't have that kind of pace to match the movement of other players.
So he has to improve in crosses to keep his place in the team. So how good is his crosses? He has done well for Martial in that assist, but he have to consistently prove it day in, day out with the crosses. So he has to work hard on his crosses, and that's where I think Andres Pereira will shine, because he's not the most tenacious, he's not the best tackler, but he can have a good sweet cross in him. And that's what Manchester United need at the end of the day, because Daniel James is not a good crosser. He doesn't have the finished product, and even if you look at his goal, it depended on a ricochet off the defender's leg. So he doesn't have a final product at the moment. He's still training his final product, but Daniel James has speed, and that's all his gameplay. So that's why I think Daniel James will work very well coming in when the game is fading out, when players are tired, and his leg will prove, his speed will prove to be different, because everyone is retired chasing him, right? So that's why I think Daniel James will be a very good super sub, just like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is. And I'll make a case for Mata, but I don't know if he starts with Mata, I'll be fine with that, because in a slower game of where Wolves are defending, I think Mata's creativity is way above Andres Pereira. It's way above McTominay is way above Fred. So it's and he can play the balls on the ground. So that's where Mata will be useful. His cross, it's quite good as Andres Pereira. So we might need Mata's creativity to actually break down stubborn defenses, and where we don't have to worry about him chasing back and defending, because he's slow, but his good play is in his passes, and that's what Juan Mata will shine. So I'll make a case for Juan Mata, but retaining the players is what I think that Ole Gunnar should do. But this is our opinion. So if you have your own tactic, if you have your own players that you think should come in that will do a better job, let us know in the comment section below. So let's move on to our fifth Our fifth point, which has to do with Sanchez and Pogba, and because Sanchez is in the press conference, Ole Gunnar said Sanchez is gonna stay. That Sanchez will be playing more than we expect it. You know, that Sanchez will be playing more, will be given more time than we expect him to. So number one, I want to ask is what is the rationale of keeping Sanchez? And yeah, we're gonna talk about Paul Pogba after Sanchez. So what's the rationale of keeping Sanchez in the team?
Okay. Like what Oli said, number one, because we have lost our top striker in the form of Romelu Lukaku. Uh, and then he is very positive in terms of during the training and stuff. So retaining him makes some sense, you know. That's the biggest rationale of having him lah. We need quality players. He is a quality player whenever yeah, he
Yeah,
is a
just gonna quality. Yes, okay, fine.
he is
I'm just gonna say
has,
3 goals in 1.5 years. Okay, yes, yes, go, go.
he has a actually he has a quality in terms of we call it the final touch, you know. He has a quality whenever he wants the quality to shine. So I think last season he was slightly affected by what call it by the managerial transition, and also the injury that he's having, and at the same time
Hugely, I think, affected by Jose Mourinho's tactic. Were, everyone was. Yeah.
one, yeah. So I think the way that Oli is trying to say is, um, if you continue to prove that you are fit enough to contribute to the team, then by all means I can include you in any game, as long as you don't take what call that you don't take any off days, you know, any off days like what he had, what like what he did last season. So he did take that off days, the days that I think let the
Every day
whole
is off day for him.
correct let the whole
Well,
team
an
know.
off day for him, hopefully.
So
Yeah.
but Ole didn't promise him to play in the Wolves game, but maybe as the season progresses, especially in the Europa League or the FA Cups or the League Cups, he will be playing. So we need that kind of what we call it senior figure, like in a form of senior figure, because he has been playing in the Premiership for some seasons, for many seasons, coming from Barcelona, playing against Arsenal. So we need to have that kind of experience. Let's say if you are to play as the season progresses, uh, in the league, sorry, as the game in the Premiership, maybe he will be there, maybe he will not. But definitely, I can see Ole putting him in cups, you know, like FA Cups or League Cups or maybe the Europa League, just to get him, just to get him and other players, call that to continue the positive form that is having during training and stuff. So I think that's the rationale of retaining him, according to Oli and according to the club atmosphere currently.
Yeah, if you ask me, I would like Sanchez to go because he's broken our wage structure. He's definitely not the player that he was. But retaining him, you see, best played player in the Premier League, not starting game. That's crazy. That's blasphemy. But like Ole just have to tell him he's not the best player that we have at the moment, and he shouldn't be expecting time. But if every time Ole been saying the same thing, players who work hard, you know, he kept saying players who work hard will get their chances, and it's the right thing to say. It's the most diplomatic thing to say, but definitely it's the right thing to say to keep their spirit
Even
high. And I believe,
we talk about just Lingard, because he was the most hardworking player during the preseason, and then in the first game of the season, Ole gave him the chance to play, and then he did shine. So I think that's
Liga shying what?
in the form of pressing, you know. So yeah,
Okay, fine. In the front of practice, so Lingard shine. And he did nothing else. But yeah, so you see, if there are two players that I want to change in that team is Andres Pereira and Lingard. They are much better quality. Bruno Fernandes for Lingard, of course, and maybe Herving Lozano over Pereira. But we work what we have. That's the mantra of this season. And I think Sanchez, at the end of the day, I think we didn't get another midfielder because we have people like Sanchez and we have 7 centre backs, you know, on our wage bill. You see, at the end of the day, we got in 3 players and we kicked out none. So we one Lukaku.
Yeah,
So if we don't kick out players, I understand the rationale of not being able to bring players. It's just because we have such a bloated list of players. So Sanchez being one of them. So that's why Rojo and Damian has to go so that in January we can bring someone in, and that's because we have such a huge list. That's why Edward Work and Glazers are reluctant to get more players. Well, as much as we need a midfield, we have 7 freaking centre back, and that's the reason I think one of the big reason why we did not get a midfielder in. We cannot get a right wing in. But at the end of the day, what Sanchez can do, okay, to me, I don't want him to play on the left wing anymore because that's Marshall, that's Daniel James, that's Chong, and that's Gomez. And I don't want him to play on the right wing anymore because he never does play on the right wing at all. And yes, and what I want to see because Ole Gunnar is starting to use 4-2-3-1, he will be the perfect fit as our number 10. He'll be the perfect fit as the attacking midfield in place of Lingard and Pereira. I won't say perfect. Yes, I probably used wrong word. He'll be the okay. He'll be coming in to replace Lingard whenever Lingard's not on his day or Pereira's not on his day, and I think this is the only place that he can shine because he has lost pace, but Gig lost pace and he moved into the middle and he done fantastically well. Rooney lost pace and he moved into the midfield, and I would argue that Rooney actually did quite a good job bossing that midfield. So I think I don't think Sanchez losing pace, getting older, can shine in the center of the park, and that's where I want to see him play. And I think Ole knows this. And I think at least Sanchez will be happy playing in the midfield because we can see he's not happy on the right side. He never does play there. And the problem started when he plays the left side, taking chances away from Anthony Martial, taking chances away from Marcus Rashford. So that's why it didn't work out with Mourinho. Actually, it didn't work out with Mourinho. One of the big reason is because of Sanchez. Sanchez actually ruined Mourinho's career. So let's hope Sanchez will not ruin Ole's career because Ole doesn't rate him and he doesn't start him as often. He doesn't put him at the top of the pedestal. So that's a good start. So let's slowly bring him in into the number 10 role because with his creativity, with his tenacity, he will do a better job in the middle of the park. And that's what I think Sanchez will be able to provide. Contribute to Manchester United. Yeah. So anything else do we want to add about Sanchez?
Nope. I think that's it. That's all about it.
Yeah. So let's go to it's still a 5th point, and there's a second player we want to talk about. It's that Paul Pogba wants to leave again. Paul Pogba wants to leave. Very recently, I think yesterday yesterday he posted on Instagram a picture of his brother, and that was when his brother was doing interview and said that Pogba still wants to go. So and then he just screenshot and then he posted that the thing of Pogba. You see, the thing is, I think insolence, petulance. At the end of the day, Pogba wants to go, and should we grant him that wish before the 2nd of September? Should we let him go?
Oh, you know what? That's one of the toughest we call that thing to say for me because by reading on whatever reports that saying that he wants to go, and then with the talks coming from his camp and also at the same time from the possible club that he wants to go, namely Real Madrid or Juventus. The thing is, I put my belief in Ole currently and on how he handles the situation. So I still believe that Ole has convinced him to actually stay for one season, at least for one season. So I don't see him leaving before the 2nd of September. Most likely he will leave towards the end of the season. But that's why I say I put my trust in Ole, in whatever it is that Ole is talking about Pogba. He has he has I think he has convinced Pogba in terms of showing his quality on the pitch. And then we saw it during the last game against Chelsea. So he was professional. He is actually a true professional,
Mm,
even with controversies surrounding him with the wanting out talk and so on. But still, Ole can handle him in terms of getting him on the pitch and play his heart out,
yeah.
because he has a job to do. So for me, I don't see him before the before the 2nd of September, but I will see, maybe most definitely he will leave at the end of the season, and then the possible place that he's going to land most likely will be Real Madrid. So yeah, that's all about it. That's all I can say about Pogba
Yeah.
situation. Yeah.
What Zidane said yesterday when he was asked about Pogba, he just said that, well, Pogba is a Manchester United player, and that's the only thing we can talk about him. That's a bit of respect from Zinedine Zidane, and that's also probably considering defeat of getting Pogba. I have 5 reasons. I'm gonna do a video of 5 reasons why he will not leave this season, and I
Mhm.
believe he will stay before September 2nd. But what I would say that it is a bit of insolence from Pogba. He is a professional, but he's professional with an edge. So he's always playing with his double-edged sword, and
Yeah, yeah,
he's whether it's to still continue to relay his 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 wanting to live, his desire to live through very very weird ways, through all this little signals in and here around. So it's no secret that he wants to live, but he will be professional about it, and we as fans has just have to endure that little dumbness that he has, that age that he has. But he will be professional on the pitch. That's what you have seen, and that's what he has said, that he will be professional. He will
yeah.
give his 100% to Manchester United. And I think at the end of the day, it's just how we use Pogba, because his creativity will give us a lot of edge, but he will lose the ball. He's not a defensive midfield that's going to be defending very, very well. He will lose the ball. It's not that he doesn't want to play.
That's
It's just
not
that he
not
is that
based on
that
his.
flair player.
Yeah,
Yep. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
So I think we'll end our preview, Wolf versus Manchester United preview here. So the last thing that we do is, of course, drop your prediction in the comments below. Also tell
Yeah,
us, like, if you want Pogba to
yeah.
stay or leave. You want Sanchez to stay or leave. I mean, we can't afford to lose Pogba. Full stop. We can't afford to lose him. If we lose him, our midfield, it will crumble like biscuit. Full stop. So what's your match prediction?
For me, against Wolf, playing at home.
Uh, uh,
Uh,
Playing at Molineux Stadium, actually.
yeah, like playing at home. Wolves home lah.
Wolves home. Yeah, yeah.
Given the way that we managed to get a clean sheet for our first game, I'm going to predict a clean sheet. That's number one. And then we're going to score 3 goals. It's going to be 3-0.
Why don't we go with 3
Man
0?
United.
Yes, I'm going to go for 2-0 or 3-0, because Harry Maguire is going to do it, Lindelof's going to do it, and everyone one beside is going to do it. So
Harry Maguire is there.
this three is going to it's going to nullify the counter attacking football that Wolf plays, and Luke Shaw is going to go on attacking, and Pereira crosses in
Yeah,
with Rashford to score again. Haha. And good days ahead. 3-0 to Manchester United. Preview Wolves versus Manchester United, and I will see you on the watch along if I can wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning on Tuesday.
yeah. Okay.
Bye.
Me too. Bye.
Share, like, and subscribe. Thank you.